Howdy, howdy. Sue Devil here. Welcome to episode 6 of Essential Units. We're going to take a harder look at the Master Engineer in this episode based on a comment by folks asking about the Master Engineer improving accuracy specifically. So I thought I would put the Master Engineer with some cannons and see if we could get some extra value out of those cannons and what the breakpoint would be for that. I also did an episode of episode 3 of the value of chevrons, where I looked at adding chevrons to artillery too, and this is kind of a combined set of testing. So there's some interesting data, and I'll make another video based on my findings. But well, first let's go look at what the data says. So based on the data I started with the value of chevrons, I was looking at, could I add an engineer to that mix and pull some equivalent value out of here? So the first 4 tests were in that video, and basically I look at 2 cannons with no chevrons, 3 cannons with no chevrons, 2 cannons with 7, 2 with 9, and you can see the damage goes up, the average damage, 1088, 1770, 1835, and 1991. Now when we add an engineer to the 2 cannon mix, the damage only went up to 1218. So it doesn't get to that 3 cannons level. It just goes up to here. But I had him with no, well, he had some abilities, but not his big buff where you can increase your reload time by 20% and your accuracy by 40 or whatever that is. Then I looked at him with not using his ability, but the engineer also firing. The first one, the engineer didn't fire, and it only added 50 damage to the average, which was absolutely awful. And that'll be the next video that I do, because I think the Master Engineer is genuinely broken and needs to be fixed, and you can see in that video. Then I added his ability, got the total cost of 2735, and with his ability, the engineer not firing but using that 40-second buff, we got the average damage up to 1456, which is still not up to the 3 cannon level, but it's definitely an increase. And then when we added the engineer firing on top with that buff on top of everything, again, it only added 100 damage, which is just awful. So if we look at this information, you know, we know that right now the engineer is definitely not an essential unit. He might have some value if you have enough artillery pieces or quarrelers or thunders or this type of thing. But know this, the engineer is definitely broken right now, and when it gets fixed, because I have the tests to really prove how broken he is, when it gets fixed, this information will definitely change, and I'll do another essential units on the engineer, and he might be useful, which would be absolutely fantastic. Anyways, I hope you found this information useful, and I'll see you later.